So here I want to just briefly talk about some of the methods that CSIS and the RCMP specifically use online to attempt to discredit anyone who exposes their corruption, their criminality, their involvement in drug trafficking, and anyone who would expose police corruption, police connections to Freemasonry and the involvement in police corruption. So what they will do, since most of these platforms are fully controlled, and the Fiveeyes intelligence services wield tremendous influence over all of these platforms, including the ones that claim to be about free speech. I'm going to just show some of the comments that were posted on one of my videos on Rumble, and then I'll go to another one which was a few months back on Bitchute, just to show you methods that are used. Now, on all of the sites except for Rumble, I keep the comment section closed because I know that it's not legitimate conversation, and 95% of the engagement is just people who are sent via the aforementioned intelligence services to either post comments endorsing violent acts or to post a whole bunch of crazy talk to attempt to discredit people who would speak the truth. And so they want to create this false perception that anyone who would expose these things is crazy or violent, and this just isn't the case. It's all deceit, and that's how CSIS and the RCMP operate. They have to operate via means of deception because everything they do is criminal, and they are essentially organized crime syndicates masquerading as these organizations that are supposed to serve the public and protect the public, etc. So we'll just take a look at this comment here. Now, before going into that, I want to talk about how the RCMP have openly admitted that they have groups who they send to pose online as quote-unquote extremist groups or Nazi groups, organizations like that. So they set up these fake groups to quote-unquote LARP meaning live action role play, for those who are not familiar with that. It means essentially acting, utilization of deceit, and again, they use these same methods in a lot of their operations with having people participate in acting, just like street theater, things of that nature. So they set these groups up online to try to draw people in to see if they can get reactions. And, you know, from the outside, that may seem like, to some extent, something that they're doing that might be good, but you've got to look at how they're utilizing these methods in such a deceitful manner to basically discredit people who genuinely speak the truth. So there are a number of articles in the controlled media where the RCMP have even admitted that they're doing this. They're setting up these groups online and posing as, you know, what they would refer to as extremist groups and, you know, these white supremacist groups and or, you know, Nazi groups. And they're just posing to try to supposedly draw people out who would have these views. And if that was all it was, then that might be a good thing. But they're not using it. You know, as is everything with what these people do, these Freemasons in these positions, it's all lies, and they're using this for other nefarious methods, i.e. slandering people who genuinely speak the truth and who genuinely expose corruption and who would want nothing to do with people with these views. So they have to attempt to tarnish them and try to slander them by attempting to falsely create fabricated associations with these groups that the RCMP have themselves set up. Again, it's the utilization of the Hegelian dialectic method that they go back to again and again. So I'm just going to go through a couple of the comments that were posted on one of my Rumble videos this past weekend. It was actually on the 15th of March. And again, I just wanted to reiterate that Rumble is one of the few sites that does not allow you to close the comment section. So of course they send these people in with who are associated with the RCMP, and they have these fake groups set up, and they post in the comment sections of anyone who the state does not approve of. And it doesn't matter what you're talking about, because they're not really looking to combat these things that they say they are. They're not actually looking to combat hate or anything like that. They're just looking to slander people who speak the truth. So let's look at that. And this comment was posted on one of the videos where I was talking about CSIS and RCMP corruption and deceit and the criminal activities that they're involved in. So it's not surprising that they would send people like this into the comment section to attempt to discredit that material wherein I speak the truth. Take note of the very first sentence here. What is this person endorsing? Here's what they're saying. It's at or nearing the point where citizens are going to have to start killing dealers in the streets. Okay? So you understand that right there, that first sentence, this person is essentially endorsing violent acts, which is exactly something that CSIS and the RCMP would want to associate with someone who is speaking the truth about them. Now, where in any of my videos do you ever see me endorsing any type of violent acts? You don't. You don't. I'm completely against that. But this is the slander that they try to do to try to create these fabricated associations. We're moving along here. He says, I have a neighbor who lost his mind because of cocaine and MDMA and won't seek help. Now I find out a girl working at the local pub has a fake passport, is only 16, and is pilled up every weekend, and is now trying quote-unquote pink. And I am terrified she's going to get raped or worse while on it. How many more victims of these bastards do there need to be before everyday people start obeying, quote-unquote, love your neighbor and stop fearing the laws of psychotic bastards? So you see what he's saying now. Now, some of the stuff, obviously, he's mixing in a little bit of truth because there are problems with drugs going on. And, of course, that's something that I've spoken about in my videos, drawing the clear connection between these criminal law enforcement organizations controlled by Freemasonry who facilitate the drug trade. In no way, shape, or form have I ever condoned any type of violence or anything like that. I simply promote speaking the truth about these things. And it's very difficult to do that because all of these platforms are controlled, and these are the types of people who the RCMP will send in to attempt to deceive and discredit you and slander you. So that's comment number one from that this RCMP operative was sent to post on my Rumble video where I was speaking the truth about CSIS and RCMP corruption. Here's the second comment. So he starts off this comment here by kind of mimicking something that I've often said, where at the beginning, opening sentence, he says, there's no real pushback against what criminal leaders are doing because few people are exposed to specific content. So they're mimicking things that I've said in other videos. Obviously that's to try to get me to, gravitate towards this because they want me to post some comment agreeing with these posts. But I'm not that stupid and I know what their game is. So, real exposure happens outside of the internet. You don't have to stand on a soapbox to do it either. You will be surprised how many regular folks think like we do. Well, first of all, he's implying here immediately that I think like him, and I don't. I don't at all. But you see what the RCMP is trying to do here. They're trying to, again, create this fabricated association between myself and these fake groups that they've created to live action role play and pretend to be Nazi groups so that they can slander people essentially. And so I'm not going to read all of this, but as you can see here, they think that they will be mobbed because of the belief that they're pretty much alone in their thoughts and feelings, so they stay silent. Some do speak up and end up in arguments and even fights, so become silent against because of single incidents. Others see these encounters online and continue to believe that they are an absolute minority. So moving along here, just getting to what the crux of it, he says his group has been warning Canadians and everyone else for decades. Yeah, sure. Your group that's been set up by the RCMP to LARP online as a fake Nazi group. Most people refuse to listen, usually because we are... as they claim here, they claim they're National Socialists, and everyone is conditioned to hate us. Yeah, okay. So this is the thing. They've set up this whole system where they can use these groups online, and they're going directly to this video where I'm exposing corruption about CSIS and the RCMP. First part of the initial comment, as I showed, they're trying to associate my content with people who promote acts of violence, as this individual is doing here, who was sent by the RCMP, who has this fake organization that he uses. And So he says there will be less, and of course he's going on about the racial stuff, which I don't care about. This has nothing to do with the content that I'm putting out. I'm putting out things to expose police corruption and the ties between Freemasonry and the drug trade and CSIS and RCMP corruption of these institutions. It has nothing to do with any racial things, but as you can see, again, they're trying to tie it in with that to attempt to slander me and discredit my material. And this is someone sent by the RCMP. You can even look up online. There are articles in the controlled communitarian media where they're putting out these pieces saying how the RCMP have admitted they've created these fake groups online. Now they're telling people, they're lying, of course, to the public, saying they're doing it for a good reason, because if they were actually doing it to catch real extremists who are dangerous, that would be good. But what they're doing is they're using it against law-abiding citizens who are truth speakers, whistleblowers, people who have exposed corruption within their organizations, and they're misusing it to slander them. The same way they slander good, honest people, the same way they use these provocateurs to spread lies, to harass people, to abuse people, and it is a system of deceit. So these are the two comments that were posted, and of course I took screenshots of them, and then I just deleted the comments, and then after that, of course, the provocateur was told to come back on, the RCMP provocateur, because they wanted me to respond. The whole point of posting these comments was to get me to post something agreeing with the comments. I didn't do that because I know what their game is. It's just to discredit my documentation and the truthful material I put out. So then this is the last comment they posted after I deleted those two comments, knowing exactly what their purpose was. So then the RCMP perp here comes back and posts something saying, "You certainly are controlling the narrative when you are deleting comments without even replying to them. You're as bad as the enemy, LOL." And who exactly is the enemy? Well, he doesn't specify that. So yeah, I'm deleting them because I know exactly what his purpose is. Obviously, I'm pro free speech, but this is not free speech. When you have a bunch of people who the intelligence agencies control to flood the comment sections of people who post truthful material with utter nonsense and things endorsing violent acts and attempting to associate them with these fake Nazi groups that you've set up online, naturally I'm going to delete that, because the whole purpose is to slander me and to attempt to discredit my material. And my material is not associated in any way with this nonsense that they're putting out. So this is just more of the deceit, lies, and criminal acts, devious acts that the RCMP and CSIS utilize to attempt to slander the material that I put out. I'm just going to move on to one other example of this here. And this one was from a few months back. This individual on Bitchute with this channel titled "Are You Really?", which, interestingly enough, shows the horned animal there, the antlers, which is often associated with occult symbolism and masonry with the horned animal symbols. Again, they speak through signs and symbols instead of words, so when they have a lot of these channels that they set up online via the military intelligence agencies, they'll have symbols just so they can recognize who they are. So this individual here stole my video without accrediting me, and he just put something in the description saying, "Found it on Rumble." Didn't accredit my channel or anything, just stole it and posted it. And and then what is below it? Now, when I posted this content on Bitchute, for obvious reasons, I closed the comment section, because I know they send people all the time to post ridiculous comments endorsing violence on that site, and just posting comments to make people sound crazy, erratic, to discredit the material. So I closed the comment section because it's not real engagement. It's just the Fiveeyes intelligence services controlling all of the conversation around the material, attempting to create a completely false narrative to slander me and to attempt to discredit the material. So this individual steals my content without even accrediting the channel, and then look what is below it. I'll just show you here how convenient this is, that this comment pops up. Now, the reason he stole the material, another main reason, is because they wanted the material out there with the comment section open, because they know I closed the comment section on Bitchute for exactly the reasons I've described. So within hours of him stealing the content, immediately this comment pops up below my video, which is speaking the truth about CSIS and RCMP corruption and involvement in drug trafficking. So he does this purposefully, the individual who's in it, probably an RCMP or someone associated with the Fiveeyes intelligence services. And some of those channels will also post truthful material to draw people in. They're doing it to find out who's looking at the material, so they're creating lists of the people, tag, track, and ID. And so if you look directly below, just shortly after he took my video, he claims he took it from Rumble, didn't accredit me. If he took it from Rumble, the only channel he could have seen it on there was mine, because no one shares my material anyway. It gets shadow banned on there. So you'll notice this comment posted by this person with this username Stan says, "Execute that MF, execute child murdering government whores, deport child murdering," and the rest of it I won't read. But you understand, like he's just purposefully posting a comment endorsing violence to make it seem like people who are looking at this material that exposes corruption are violent, mentally unstable people. And this was done very strategically to discredit this video where I'm talking about criminals Daniel Rogers and that psychopath commissioner of the RCMP and their involvement in drug trafficking and organized crime and terrorizing their own citizens and staging fake events to justify terrorizing their own citizens. So what methods do? Well, they send people like this to post these comments to attempt to slander the material. And since I closed the comment section, they'll send their people to steal the material, and just so they can post those comments to discredit the material I'm putting out. So people will see the video, and then they'll associate it with ridiculous people who post nonsense comments endorsing violence. And that is, make no mistake, that's someone associated with the Fiveeyes intelligence services, possibly with the RCMP, who posted the comment, attempting to discredit my truthful material, which endorses none of those things. So, and then moving along here, I'm going to show you the comment that I posted just to disassociate my material with this person who stole it, and with the comment below, and also letting them know that I was reporting it to Bitchute. And to their credit, Bitchute did take it down because it was a copyright infringement on my material, as he did not accredit me as the creator of the material. So I'll show you here the comment I posted disassociating my material with this ridiculous nonsense. I said, "Hello, I am the original creator of the content you have posted without attributing me as the creator. I am requesting that you please take it down, as you don't have permission to share this without attributing me as the creator. You also have a paid agent provocateur who was sent to post a comment openly endorsing violent acts while associating this with my video in the comment section directly below." And just to interject, that was why he stole the video, because they wanted the comment section open, so this person associated with either CSIS or the RCMP and or the Fiveeyes intelligence services could go in and post this nonsense to attempt to slander me and to discredit the material. I have contacted Bitchute and have requested that they remove this, as you don't have permission to share the material without attributing the creator, nor do I want the video associated with people who freely allow paid agents to post calls to violence in their comment sections. As you can see, I uploaded the video on the same date that I created it, November 21st, 2025. It was uploaded to multiple platforms on that same date. In the description, you simply indicate that it was mirrored from Rumble, while not mentioning which channel it was. Also, I find it highly suspicious that directly below the video someone immediately shows up to post comments endorsing violence, just so that such foolishness can be purposefully associated with this video to attempt to discredit the material and to make it seem like people who expose such corruption are somehow associated with violent, mentally unhinged people. Surely you must know that most of the comment sections on sites like this were created for specifically that purpose. Making calls to violence is something that funded intelligence agency assets are paid to do in order to attempt to discredit material that legitimately exposes corruption. If you could please take down my video, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks. And then I contacted Bitchute. I have the email saved there as well. I won't go through all of the email there. Again, they confirmed that it was a copyright infringement, and they did have the video blocked and taken down. But again, my primary concern was this comment, that they were purposefully trying to associate with my video to attempt to deceitfully associate my truthful material with ridiculous comments like that endorse acts of violence. So these are methods that the criminals and the psychopaths with the RCMP and CSIS will stoop to attempt to slander and discredit honest people who speak the truth. And online, obviously, these forums where, and these social media sites where they have all these comment sections where they claim it's about free speech, but realistically, it's just about having the intelligence services flood the comment sections with nonsense. If you look at the comment sections, you can just tell it's not real engagement. People don't go around posting things like that if they're genuinely, interested in subjects like this. It's just ridiculous. So these are the intelligence services sending people in, and then when you contact these sites like Bitchute, they did take it down, but then when I asked them, why are you allowing people in your comment section so regularly to openly endorse acts of violence? There's no response. Now, of course, there's one thing, you want to have free speech and promote it as a free speech platform. Of course, that's a good thing. But when you're allowing people to openly make calls for violence, all that's going to do is help these organizations that want to shut down free speech use that as a justification to shut down sites that offer free speech. And it seems like when I say that, Bitchute just don't have a response. So that makes me kind of question their validity as well. Anyway, we won't go too much into that at this point. I think, and again, sites like Rumble, it's very obvious. Now, Bitchute does allow you to close the comment section if you want to, and that's what I always do. So that's why they sent this person to steal the video, so that they could post this comment endorsing violence directly under it. And just to confirm, that video there that was posted on Bitchute was the one where I was talking about. I also posted it on YouTube and a number of other platforms, talking about all these staged press conferences that were set up by criminal psychopath Dan Rogers of CSIS, wherein he was lying profusely to cover up the crimes that his organization is provably involved in. And so naturally, that would be a video that they would want to post all this nonsense and slander under to attempt to discredit the truth that I was speaking in that video.